welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vision out of life and boring news, folks. It's our job to give you some issues about little sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in this hour-long or so podcast. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And yes, we've got some news to get to in sports, entertainment, and odd news from this past week. But before we get to all of that, we'd like to do a little personal bit. So, Mikey, how are you? How's Costanzo Country doing?
Doing pretty good. I had a chance to check out the first episode of that new show I talked about last week. It's Florida, man.
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, man, it was absolutely wild. It was a story that we did not cover on the podcast.
Who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
They should have used that as the theme song.
They should have. They really should have. It was absolutely wild, though, and I'm so glad that other people who don't listen to the podcast will get a chance to experience the glory of Florida. But they covered a story that we have not talked about in, 12, 13 years of the podcast. It was a story of a guy who needed money to go see a concert. Oh, my God, what was the guy's name? The musician. It was some like bass thing.
Ace of Base?
No, not Ace of Base. It was bass something.
Baseball?
No. But anyway, I can't remember the musician's name now. But it was like this EDM artist that he wanted to go see. So he posts on Craigslist, "Need money now," which
oh boy
is always
yeah.
So somebody responds back. He's like, "I need your help to carry out one of my biggest fantasies." And so he's like, "Sure, $4,000, I'll do it." And the guy's like, "All right, come on over on this day." So him and his friend go over, and this person wants him to cut off his toes and then watch him cook and eat them.
Okay.
And so the whole episode, I won't spoil it too much, but that's where it starts off.
Where are the sausages?
Yeah, I mean, basically, toes are sausages.
Yeah, they're little tiny mini sausages.
Where are those cheddar sausages?
Yeah. I guess we didn't talk about it on the podcast because it's a little morbid.
Yeah.
You try to keep it lighthearted.
I do. I my own vetting procedure, I try to do a little bit more on the lighthearted
We stay
side.
away from death.
Yeah.
We stay away from
unless it's
cannibalism.
Unless it's a really funny death. Something that's ridiculous.
It's happened before.
Yeah, like something that I have to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually I kind of err more on the lighthearted side.
Yeah, no, this was definitely a little bit more morbid, but
I need more sausages.
Well, you got him with the toes.
But some of what these people say are just insane. The guy goes, he's talking about how he's trying to psych himself up to cut off this guy's toes. And he said, and I thought to myself, sometimes you just got to do something for the greater cause. The greater cause is going to see this random EDM artist. What is this greater cause?
I hope that the artist watched that show and was like, someone cut off another dude's toes to see my show.
What was going to? I'm not going to say if he actually went through with it or not.
Okay.
But yeah, so the episode is interviewing the two people who went to cut off the toes, and then the reenactment of it.
So I gotta say, I checked out the blurbs for each episode.
Yeah.
I did not see anything that referenced a missile, and I'm very disappointed.
That is super disappointing.
That should be a #1 Florida story.
Come on, it's so interesting and unique.
I've never heard of anybody else just casually driving around with a missile in their car.
Never. And we've covered thousands of these stories.
Yeah. So get on that. Was it HBO?
HBO, yeah.
HBO, come on. If you really want to impress us, get the guy that drove around with an Iraqi missile in his car.
Yeah, it was like a 6-foot ground to air missile.
Yeah.
It was like a legit.
And he just had it going about my day.
Yeah, just out the sunroof or no, was it convertible?
It was a convertible, yeah. I'm just gonna get lunch.
With his missile, yeah.
Me and my missile.
No, that's probably not going to be in the season. But the first episode was it was wild. It was something else.
There you go.
So that's what I did.
So my thing, it was my sister's 50th birthday on Saturday.
I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50. 50 years old.
Yep. My sister turned 50, and we actually did have a cardboard cutout of Sally O'Malley, and then they put Renee's face on it.
That's awesome.
So literally, the clip actually came to life for her party.
I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50. 50 years old.
So
And you just-
happy birthday to my sister.
Happy birthday. Absolutely. Did you play that clip on repeat for like 5 hours?
Well, no, the best part is I didn't have to. Everyone knew, because
Everybody knew
obviously Renee and her friends are of that generation.
Right.
I grew up trying to catch up to that generation because she was my sister.
Right.
And all my cousins are older, so we all knew the reference. I don't think there's anybody that didn't get the reference at my party.
That's awesome.
So nevertheless, happy birthday to my sister Renee. She literally just turned 50, so
That's awesome. Huge milestone.
yeah, big
It's
one.
crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the the world revolved around that for this weekend.
Yeah. That was a big event.
Yep. All right, how about we get to the news at hand now, and let's jump into the first batch of topics. It revolves around sports. It's the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports.
In your face! Ha ha!
That's right, sports coming at you in your face in this first part of the show. Let's get into for a change of pace, a relatively relaxing Eagles game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it felt so bizarre.
Eagles!
This did not feel like the Eagles that we've been watching for the last 6 weeks.
No, it definitely didn't. We're not going to beat around the bush here. The Eagles beat the New York Giants 28-3, so a very commanding victory on the part of the Eagles.
And on the road.
Yeah, and on the road, yeah, that's always a good thing, and a division rival as well. So, a lot of positives here. What are some of your big takeaways from the game?
The defense. I
Yeah.
mean, holding
I think it was,
any NFL team to just 3 points.
but it was
is-
back-to-back teams without an offensive touchdown. I think because the Browns scored because of a return.
The block kick.
Yeah, I think.
Wow.
Is that how that worked? I don't remember exactly the scores from the Browns game, but yeah, it was
2016 was the final.
yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 straight games without an
All
offensive
right.
score. So now I know
Vic Fangool, hey, he's doing the right job.
he's doing something. We got to shout out the rookie corners, Quinyon
Yeah.
Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. I mean,
Cooper DeJean, yeah.
Yeah.
He's stepping up.
But those two guys, man, I'm so excited for the future of that secondary between Mitchell, DeJean, Reed Blankenship. Just really great core group of guys. Now, the flip side to this, though, is, part of me is like great defensive performances, but it's the Browns and the Giants. Does that like temper your expectations at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I hate this. I don't want to be negative, but it was the Giants, and the Giants are just a dumpster fire this season.
Yeah.
I mean, they legitimately might actually just bench Daniel Jones at this rate. They're not
They
getting
should.
anything from him. They're not moving the ball with them. Just so many 3 and outs on that side of the ball. I mean, they're only
also
they're only
sacked 7 times. as
their
well.
only glimmer of hope is Malik Neighbors, but he isn't going to be very effective if he's not getting the ball.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I do think a lot of this is the Giants are that bad, but still to put a whooping on a division opponent away too on the road,
Yep, on the road, yep.
it's impressive. Good job.
And Saquon Barkley's revenge game,
Yep.
176 yards and a touchdown.
It felt really nice that all the starters came out at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and everybody was just like, "Yep,
yeah.
everything's good."
It's been a while since we've had a game where you didn't have to like panic.
Yeah, in the fourth
for,
quarter.
Yeah, for like the last quarter and a half.
Yep.
There is something of a little bit of a concern, even though Jalen Hurts didn't have any turnovers. He also didn't really do anything.
No, I mean, you just had to hand it off to Saquon in this game.
But does that not worry you at all? I mean, you're paying this guy
What-
$50 million a year for. He threw it 14 times, and he was sacked 4 times.
I'm more worried that the coaching is going to believe what you just said, and they're going to outthink themselves.
And the next game, they're like, he has got to throw for 57 times.
Yeah. No. Take what the teams are giving you. If the running game is working, keep handing it off to Saquon Barkley.
I mean, I do agree that I think part of the Eagles' problem has been they weren't focusing on establishing the run as much, and they're trying to force Hurts to be something he's not. I don't mind him being a game manager. I just want us to be honest about it. You know, I wish we hadn't paid him $250 million to be a game manager at this point.
You say that, but what is he down to? Like eighth best quarterback in terms of paycheck?
Yeah. And you know what?
Would you rather be giving him 60 like Dak?
I'm immediately going to retract what I said because you're right. That's just the going rate for a starting quarterback. You're not going to have a starting quarterback for less than 45 to 60 million.
If you're going to deem someone to be the franchise quarterback, yeah.
You're not going to get a quarterback on the cheap.
Not like a rental.
Yeah. I do want. I feel like I'm going back to 2022 version of myself, where it's like, okay, he was fine, but he didn't do anything to really set himself apart.
Should we get this going? Is he the guy again?
You are not the guy. You're not capable of being the guy. I had a guy, but now I don't. You are not the guy.
So what? Are you worried he's not the guy again?
Well, listen, this is what I'm going to say. It was the Giants, right? They're not a good team, right?
No.
Okay. So as a team, the Eagles net 70 passing yards against the Giants. And I know what you're going to say. We don't need to because we handed off to Saquon Barkley. But what happens when we need to pass?
Look, then we get in that boat. But right now,
so
you are going to cause these damn coaches to outthink themselves. All of you people on WIP and the Fanatic, if you stay the same thing, you're gonna cause chaos with the coaching staff.
Maybe I want chaos.
No.
Maybe I want to burn it down.
No. I want them to run the ball on first down like a normal NFL team would that has a decent running back.
But that's what they're expecting you to do.
No, we did this the last 6 weeks. I love the fact that this was a more traditional game plan, and I think just everybody felt better. It just seemed like the Eagles too were just more relaxed in this game, knowing that they were getting 3, 4, 5 yards consistently out of Saquon. And then eventually Gainwell in the fourth quarter.
I will say, though, that this is not sustainable. It's just not in the modern NFL.
What exactly?
Leaning on Saquon like that, because we did that against a lesser opponent like the Giants, but if we truly are a playoff team, you have to look at other playoff teams like the Detroit Lions, like the Minnesota Vikings, airing the ball out, putting up points. We did that because we could ease off the gas, because we didn't have to push Hurts to do anything spectacular. But when you face some of these other tougher NFC opponents and you force him to air it out and go toe-to-toe with these prolific passers, he's not going to be able to keep up unless you fix those fundamental issues that we dealt with over the first 6 weeks. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I hate to be Debbie Downer over here, but I don't know. Maybe I should call WIP.
Yeah, at this rate, I think you should. Because you and all those callers are going to lead.
Maybe
Nick
we should
Sirianni.
just hire Bill Belichick and bring back Nick Foles.
Yeah.
And we'll just trade for the best players.
You guys are going to cause the coaching staff to start passing 60 times a game.
No, I don't want
that. This is what the offense should look like. You hand it off to Saquon so he gets those 3 and 4 yard chunks, and then third down isn't 3rd and 10, it's 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
Something that you can easily manage, and everything in the playbook is an option. That's when Jalen Hurts is ideal.
I just worry that we put a Band-Aid over it, and because of that, we never look at the actual wound. We're just like, we had a good win, but like I want to see them continuing to progress and try to fix the things that plagued us. We can't just ignore the first 5 weeks and ignore that it wasn't just like 23 straight weeks of freaking crap. And then we had one good game. We're like, all right, fixed. I don't want to be that. I'm happy for the win.
I'm not saying it's fixed, but I'm saying that I think this is the formula. This is what this team can win on.
I mean, yes, it is the formula, but I just worry that when it's tested,
And for the love of God, just keep
fail.
giving him the ball. Stop it, Mike. Give him the ball. Give Saquon the ball like a normal NFL coach would.
It is how we won in 2017, was through the ground game.
Yes.
I have no problem with featuring the ground game. I want them to feature the ground game. I worry that it's not sustainable. I would have liked to see a little bit more from Hurts. Hurts still had those issues. He was sacked 4 times. You know, I get that he didn't really have to pass that much, but when teams do figure out how to stop Saquon, and they will, they're out there.
Then you throw it deep to A.J. Brown.
All right.
I mean, he did have that 4th down pass. That was pretty cool.
He did.
And and when I saw that, I was like, oh, I don't know if they should have done that.
Well,
But
it'll be another heartbreaking divisional loss. But until then, we can enjoy the rest. I'm predicting the future.
What exactly are you predicting? You said so what?
We're going to make it to the divisional round of the playoffs. So we're gonna lose, yeah.
The divisional
Yeah.
round.
No,
Okay.
not the. Well, we are going to
All
lose
right.
the division of the Commanders as well.
Oh,
So
man.
it'll be 2.
That's if Jaden Daniels stays healthy.
Yes.
If he doesn't stay healthy, I don't know.
Well-
The Eagles could end up winning the division again.
I mean, it's within play.
Yeah. The Cowboys are sinking. I don't know. We're gonna get into the future at some point, but
Yeah.
right now, before we start doing our predictions, one more thing to note: there are a lot of injuries happening.
Yeah. Injury bugs have been striking a lot of teams across the NFL. One in particular, the San Francisco 49ers, it just keeps getting worse and worse. They lost Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, the guy that they were sweating out a contract with.
The whole offseason. What's he going to do? Is he going to get traded? Is he going to sign?
We
We
go
don't
to the
know.
Steelers. Remember that? There was
Yep.
that blip.
The Steelers, the Patriots.
They should have just done it.
They should have just done it. Yep. He's out for the year now. The 49ers are below 500. Not a place where you thought they would be.
Rash of injuries.
Yeah, are they starting to lose control of that division? The Seahawks are, they're decent. They're hanging in there. The Rams are getting back a couple of pieces. They might, start to cause a little bit of trouble. All those teams are kind of just like around the same level of competitiveness.
Well, yeah, I think the injury bug and the Super Bowl losers curse has finally taken hold of the 49ers.
I also think
they've taken a step back.
People have figured out Brock Purdy finally. I saw a statistic when he has all 5 of his like super all-pro weapons. Yeah, sure, he's like the best quarterback. He's only lost like 2 games. When he's missing just one of them, he's like below 500.
Well, he's going to have
missing just one of them. He's missing like 3 of them right now.
Yeah, he's going to have to deal with it now because Brandon Ayuk is not coming back.
Yeah, and Christian McCaffrey's a question mark.
Yeah, I think they're saying he's out probably till week 10.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe even longer. He's got an injury history.
Yeah.
People forget that's why he left Carolina.
Yeah, that's why the Panthers wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah. And Deebo Samuel had like the flu or something.
No,
or
pneumonia.
Pneumonia, yeah. Like
Gonna get whooping cough next.
you're in like sunny California. Where how are you getting like horrific diseases? Just like stay inside the training facility.
It's like the Oregon Trail or something.
Yeah,
it's
right?
Just gonna wreak havoc on this team.
So I don't know. The Super Bowl losers curse is hitting them hard.
Yeah.
Another little bit of karmic retribution. The Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson suffered an Achilles tear.
Yeah,
A non-contact injury.
The footage of that is brutal. You can clearly see it snap. It is very ugly to look at.
Is it bad that I don't really care?
Well, apparently the Browns fans didn't either. They cheered him getting injured, which, I wonder if another fan base had done that. I wonder if they would get criticized.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Well, we only cheer for other teams' players getting injured.
Yeah.
Not our own.
Yeah.
But Myles Garrett had some things to say about that. He was not very pleased at their fans.
No.
But for myself personally, I predicted it a few weeks ago. I said that he was going to get injured.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be I was joking about how he's going to get injured.
He legitimately got injured.
He actually did get injured.
That video is real.
But this is it's kind of a best case scenario for Cleveland.
Yeah.
Because I think that they were struggling to find a way to phase him out. And now they can just say, well, he's injury prone.
Yeah, he's been injured 2 out of 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And the other season, he was suspended.
If they don't take this as an out, then they're just going to ride out the whole deal, aren't they? Like, if they don't go into 2025 and they're like, well, he's injury prone, he's getting older, it's not the direction we want to go, like, this is their easy out. This is their life raft. And I know they have to swallow like $150 million.
$146 million dead cap.
But do you...
And that is after this season. That is not including this season.
Okay, but you're sitting in the Browns front office. You're out there in Cleveland, God forbid.
Yeah. Ugh.
What do? You take this life raft?
I think you got to. And it's going to suck. You're going to have to eat the majority of that cap hit next season. So you're probably looking at like an $80 million dead cap hit.
You got to, though. This is the easy out.
And then you can spread the other $60 million out like 30-30.
Yeah. But this is an easy out. You have to.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm the Browns GM, I'm kind of sitting there going, whew, dodged a bullet.
Oh, no. Still no dodging a bullet. Whoever came up with that damn guaranteed contract needs to get fired.
Well, we dodged the bullet of having to send him out there every week and reminding us how bad it actually is.
Yeah.
Because now people will forget. They will forget over the course of the rest of the season. They have Jameis Winston. They were bringing in other quarterbacks.
They would have forgot if they ran with Joe Flacco again this season.
Yeah.
People love Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Everyone makes fun of him with the whole elite thing, but you know what? He's a good story. People love Joe Flacco.
He held down the fort for many years in Baltimore.
Yeah.
He's coming in and he wins games on occasions for teams as a backup. There's nothing wrong with him. He's certainly not an elite quarterback.
Not anymore, but he still got the job done.
Not ever, but okay. He did win a Super Bowl.
He did win a Super Bowl.
I will say it does show that game managers can win Super Bowls. Maybe Jalen Hurts can do it as a game manager.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you got to take the hit. I think you absorb the majority of the hit in 2025.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
And then just try and divvy it out the rest of the other 2 seasons.
Yeah.
146 million. I don't know
how they
how
they structured that deal. It's because it was all bonuses.
Well, apparently they shot themselves in the foot again this season.
Yeah,
they tried to make
didn't
more.
They just kick the can down the road?
Yeah, they tried to make more cap room this season by diverting more of the money from 2024 later into this contract, and now they're really screwed.
They really don't know what they're doing.
No.
Like, to think like the Browns, you have to abandon all logic and self-respect because they clearly have. It's true, though. Like, whenever you're like, oh, let me think what the Browns could do, you have to take a step back and approach it as illogically as possible.
Yeah.
Because I just don't get it. So they tried to make more cap space this year, but then they traded Amari Cooper. So it's like, what are you making cap space for if you're just going to trade away the playmakers you already have? What are you trying to do?
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing with the Browns is making sense. But I think we might have seen the last of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think so.
Because even if he tries to come back, what team is even going to want to put a flyer on him?
He hasn't played meaningful football since 2020. It's been almost 4 years since he's played quality football. He's been injured 2 of those years. Suspended for
one of those 2 of those years.
Almost 2 of those years.
Yeah.
Because he still refuses to apologize for what he's done.
Yeah.
He's an on the field and off the field issue. As soon as the Browns cut him, he's retired.
Yeah, he's done.
Like, I don't see another team taking a flyer.
No. Unless it's the Dallas Cowboys. Anyway,
there's always a chance.
Yeah. How about this? Now we're already starting looking. We're starting to look into the future. So let's officially jump into the segment where we give you 4 games that we will look into the future for with the Fantastic 4 picks. All right, there you go. The music is on. What are the games that we're going to look at?
All right, first up, we have a battle for the AFC South. The Indianapolis Colts are traveling to the Houston Texans. 2 teams close in terms of wins, but Rich, are they really that close on the field?
No, I think the Texans have the better defense, I just blanked on the quarterback's name.
C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud, thank you. Oh man, it's been a long night. CJ Stroud, I believe he's got the capacity to really take the next level this season. Anthony Richardson, I don't know. We still haven't seen, as much.
Yeah, he's still struggling a bit.
So I think it's Texans at home on this one.
Yeah, I think they're going to be comfortable at home. They got good defense, good offense. They're a very well-balanced team. I think it's honestly an easy one. Houston Texans. Next up, though, we have a battle for the NFC South. I don't think anybody thought this division would be this close, but it's shaping up to be a tight one. We have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These are really the two teams in contention for that division. Rich, who do you see getting a win here in the division?
Yeah, Buccaneers took a big hit last week, losing Chris Godwin to the IR, and Mike Evans, I think, is going to be out for this game too.
Yeah, I think he had hamstring injury.
Yeah, so he's week to week. I think he's out for this one. That's losing your 1-2 wide receiver combo. Baker can do a lot, but I don't think he can overcome that, especially against a Falcons team that they seem to be rolling pretty well with Kirk Cousins. I think it's the Falcons' game to lose. I'm going with Falcons in that one.
Yeah, this is a tough one because losing as many offensive playmakers as that, and I'm looking at the Bucs, and I'm looking at the fact that they do have a decent ground game, but how much of those wide receivers help that ground game come to life? So you can't look at it and say we can just count on the running back to carry that load, because those two parts work in tandem. I think that the Falcons have a good chance of stealing one here, especially given the fact the Buccaneers are like almost dead last in terms of defensive football. So yeah, I'm going with the Falcons, but I think it's going to be a close one. This is a really tough one, I think. But I think it's still going to be Falcons. Next up, we have some shocking NFC leaders, two teams that I don't think anybody predicted would be in play for their respective divisions. It's the Chicago Bears traveling to Washington to face off against the Commanders. Just a few weeks ago, the Bears were looking not very good. Now, 4-2, right in the thick of it there in the NFC North, which is the most competitive division by far. Then you have the Washington Commanders, perpetual basement dwellers, all of a sudden leading the NFC East. Rich, who do you like in this one?
Is it weird that I kind of want Chicago in this one? I mean, I know Washington's
for our benefit, we need Chicago to win.
Right. I know that this is we're kind of crapping on a division opponent here, but Chicago, they are showing some grit. I mean,
they really turned it around.
Any other season, the Bears would have folded by now, especially with the Bears, Vikings, and Lions all doing fantastically well this far. The Bears would have been out. But here's something else, too. The Bears, all this time, when's the last time you looked at a Bears quarterback and you were like, he's pretty good?
Yeah.
Man,
I don't even know.
I'm dead serious.
Maybe like Rex Grossman?
No. He was the weak link on that team. So, no, this is really like the first time the Bears...
Jay Cutler.
Oh, that's a good answer. But, yeah, this might be the first time that we are seeing a Bears team with a possibly good, next to, potentially great quarterback.
And they have some good weapons too.
Yeah. So I'm liking the Bears in this one.
Yeah. They have some good weapons on offense, but it's the defense that's really keeping them in some of these games. I just love the fact that they started 1-2 and they've won 3 in a row, holding their last two opponents to under 17 points each. So, the defense really stepping up, and, they're putting up 30-plus points as well. Now, yes, they've been picking on some weaker teams, but I still love the story, and I see here Jaden Daniels is questionable for the game, so I don't know if he's dealing with a little bit of an injury thing, or he's just bruised up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a very, very close one. I think I'm going to go with the Bears as well, though, just because we can't have the Commanders being that dominant, right? That doesn't feel right. So I'm going to take a flyer on the Bears.
It would be something that, like, in the first truly non-Dan Snyder season, Washington would go out and possibly win the division.
Let me tell you something. If they beat the Bears, you have to start considering them to be one of the better teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
They'd be 6-2 and right up there with the Lions and the Vikings and all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, though, our very own hometown team, the Philadelphia Eagles, traveling to Cincinnati to play against an underperforming Bengals team with all of the weapons in the world. They can't seem to get above 500. Rich, can they get to 500 against the Eagles, or can we hold them off?
Honestly, I think this is another winnable game for the Eagles. You know, I kind of think, like, the passing offenses are both very similar in that they have star quarterbacks, star wide receivers, but they both have had kind of slightly disappointing efforts so far this season. But Saquon Barkley, again, I think this is a game you rely on him. Give him the rock 20 times. Let him be the consistent positive 3-4 yard chunk guy to help you move the chains. And I think that running game is significantly better than whatever the Bengals got. So I like the Eagles in this. I think they can pull this one off against a non-conference opponent here.
Yeah, this game comes down to really the defense, because I called them out earlier. Those rookie cornerbacks, they're going to need to step up big time. This is probably going to be their biggest test of the year so far against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It's one thing to shut down Malik Neighbors with Daniel Jones throwing, but Joe Burrow does not make mistakes. He just doesn't. He's only thrown 2 picks this year to 14 touchdowns. If it becomes a shootout, we don't win this game. So it comes down to those corners of whether they can keep Burrow and his dynamic wide receivers in check. I don't know that they'll be able to do that. I'm going to be a little bit of a naysay here, a little bit of a Debbie Downer here. But if Burrow can get ahead early by throwing to those wide receivers, I don't see us being able to keep pace. That's my concern. Now, the flip side of that is, can the defensive line actually do something against the Bengals, another weak offensive line, like the Giants, right? That's always been the problem with Burrow. So there's opportunities for the Eagles to win here, but part of me thinks that we're gonna get a little bit of a rude awakening after getting a solid win against the Giants. So unfortunately, I'm gonna go Bengals.
Oh, interesting. All right, so our lone disagreement there.
Don't worry, I'll probably be wrong.
That would be, hey, look, I hope you're wrong, no offense, but, we'll see.
I mean, for the Eagles' sake, I hope I am too.
Yeah. All right, and then also my game of the week, I forgot to mention this in the rundown.
Oh, yeah.
My game of the week pick is actually going to be the Thursday night game, so if you listen to this podcast the day it comes out, free betting advice here. I'm taking the Vikings -3 or -2.5. I actually saw some books that were doing -2.5.
Just a field goal.
Yeah. I think you get a lot of benefits in this game between the fact that the Rams, I don't think they're going to go 100% with Cooper Kupp coming back from injury right away. The Vikings are going to be at their lowest point because they just lost their first game. So kind of that whole air of invincibility finally got shattered. So you're getting a good number with the hype now being gone from them. And the Rams, they've only covered the spread one game this whole season.
Yeah, that's the biggest piece of evidence right there.
So I'm got my official play this week is Vikings if you can get them for -2.5 or -3.
All right, well, there you go. Some free betting advice. And those are our Fantastic Four picks.
All right, there you go. Our NFL pick.
Am I being too negative on the Eagles?
I feel like you are a little bit.
I'm just so disappointed.
I don't know what else you wanted from them in an in-division game.
I don't know.
They spanked them 28-3.
They did.
They were able to rest everybody in the fourth quarter.
I need to see Hurts be the guy again, like in 2022. I do.
You are literally Mike Ermitrot. You know that?
You are not the guy. You're not capable of being the guy. I had a guy, but now I don't. You are not the guy.
It's a passing league. I love Saquon, but it's a passing league.
All right. Well, we are going to find out how they fare this upcoming week, week 8, the NFL season. We're almost at the halfway point
We're
already.
trucking along.
Yeah, time is flying while we're
The
covering
season's
the football.
half gone. My lifespan is cut in half as well from watching the Eagles.
And you know what, too? You got me so distracted. The World Series is this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to talk about that. The only thing I can mention is.
You didn't put it in the rundown.
Are you ready? I hate both teams.
There you go.
That's my analysis.
That's all the analysis you need.
Dodgers, Yankees.
That's just the two biggest spenders. I mean, go
Just
figure.
about, yeah. Give me indigestion.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, at this rate. But on that note, that's done. We'll leave sports and take a break. But don't go anywhere because we still have entertainment news and the non-fortune cookie odd news when we return from the break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby, Barnes & Noble, and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off me.
No, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
It's all right. Just get him in the car.
One cup, look. They even broke.
Oh, yeah. We're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. All right. Yep, officially done sports. Although it is funny, this upcoming weekend is like one of those rare moments where all 4 leagues are going to be playing a game.
Oh, wow.
Because you got the World Series,
Yeah.
basketball, and
Basketball
hockey
just
is
started.
starting this weekend. Starting this week, and of course you have football. So if you are a fan of sports, the Big 4 all have a game this weekend.
Wow, that's big for sports fans.
Yep. All right, but now we officially leave sports. It's time to get to our next segment and something that we love to cover with movies, music, TV, video game news in our entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
Who are the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world?
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, we are officially in entertainment entree territory, and we're going to kick it off with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming weekend with new movies, TV, and video games with Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for the people?
All right, first up in television, Before is a creepy new psychological thriller coming to Apple TV+. It's an interesting casting choice because it features Billy Crystal in a dark and dramatic role of a child psychiatrist who, after losing his wife, encounters a troubled young boy who seems to have a haunting connection to his past. The trailer is very chilling, very creepy, perfect for the final week of spooky season, and it's a miniseries, so it's not a long-term commitment to a huge ongoing television series. I think it looks pretty cool. I think the trailer did a good job of piquing my interest and giving just that right amount of creepiness, but not too much so that it's like fantastical or horror. Keeping it very much in the psychological thriller genre. So that's Before on Apple TV+. In video games, we have Wildermyth Console Edition coming to all major home consoles this week. It's a tactical RPG that came to PC a couple years ago, where it received excellent reviews for its unique procedurally generated narrative gameplay, where every decision shapes the world and your characters. The game features both local co-op play and a whimsical papercraft art aesthetic. So if you're looking for something to play with friends or family, go check out Wildermyth Console Edition, coming to all major platforms this week. And finally, in movies, Venom: The Last Dance hits theaters this week, and honestly, I'm still not sure why this series exists and why they've taken it this far. The first two movies were terrible, and this third one has prominently featured a venomified horse in its marketing.
Yes.
Because it's like the whole series is like a friggin' slapstick comedy, and it's so stupid.
Are they ever going to combine it with Marvel?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so. I don't see how. It's so stupid. Sorry, I should be saying what's good about the movie. But
yeah.
I mean, I guess if you like Venom and slapstick comedies, go check it out. It's got a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. But the real news in movies is, of course, Conclave, a new drama coming out in theaters this week. And we actually had a chance to check out an advanced screening, which ends this week in entertainment.
Oh,
to take us to the main topic of the entertainment entree.
Yeah, we have an exclusive review. Yeah, we got to see this.
Our exclusive advanced screening review of Conclave, starring Ralph Fiennes and Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow.
John Lithgow, yeah.
Really big cast. We literally just finished watching this movie.
Yeah,
at the time of recording. This is literally 2 hours later.
The reason why the podcast came out Thursday this week, we got to go see an advanced screening of this movie on Wednesday. So we are actually just fresh from seeing the movie.
Just fresh in our minds. So, Rich, how do you want to start this thing? Just knee-jerk reaction?
Yeah, I mean, this is getting a lot of hype. This could be a possible entry into Oscar nominations.
Yep.
Next year, and I could see it. There are definitely some fantastic acting performances here, especially from Ray Fiennes.
The reviews are overwhelmingly positive, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
The average score is 8.2 out of 10. But the real question is, do we agree?
I'll tell you what. The first half of the movie, I really enjoyed it. I was really into it. I love. It's not. This is not. It's not.
Do we do spoilers or no?
I don't think we should, because people haven't gotten a chance to see it.
Right.
But this is not really a spoiler.
Okay.
Because the movie's called Conclave.
Okay.
So obviously a pope is going to die.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally the opening scene.
Yes.
You can't spoil it.
I love the fact that there's. It's like the first 5 minutes is the pope dying. You know, all the effects of what happens when the pope dies. And just, how it, the current administration just gets, it destroys them, because this is your boss, is the person you've been working with for many years.
But also the leader of your faith as well.
Yes.
It's like a boss on steroids.
Yes. So they kind of go over just how it just shuts everything down and everything comes to a standstill. But then I just love the fact that after the opening title screen, they just throw the Pope into a van and whisk him away to the morgue. And it's like, oh, yeah.
It's just a body at that point.
Yeah. An hour ago, he was, Pope of the whole Catholic Church. And then an hour later, he's just another body in the morgue.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I loved it. I thought that was a great,
there was a
statement on life.
It really was. There was a slightly prolonged scene where it just shows like the body bag like jostling in the back of the the ambulance
and
or the
they
hearse.
Stayed on that for like a good minute. It was just like get that point home. Like, and sorry, the moment you croak, there's no your reign's over. Sorry.
Yeah, hey man, it's only an earthly job here.
Right.
But I want to take a step back and just catch people up because we did just jump into. I realized we didn't give them any kind of like context. So Conclave is a movie about, like you said, the moments after the Pope's death, right?
Right.
For those not in the know, the way that the Catholic Church does it, when the Pope dies, all the cardinals, who are like the heads of all the different churches around the world, or like the collection of churches, they come into Rome, into Vatican City, they lock themselves into a series of meetings and votes where they try to pick the next pope, voting amongst themselves for, one of their number to be the next pope. So this is
just like when your family makes the sausages.
Just like you always joke. You literally always joke every year. They're like, they put the wax seal on the door, which we got to see. Put the wax seal on the door. So that's what this movie is about that process and the drama that comes up throughout the process, because there's a lot of politicking, right? And this was one of the things that I thought was so interesting is, getting to see kind of a dramatized version of what happens behind the scenes, because it's a very secretive process, right?
Yeah, we don't get to know what happens.
We don't get to know what happens, so it's fun to think about like the politics of it and the secret meetings and the trying to pull for one guy or the other. And so you're right, the first half of the film with that kind of character-driven, like just subtle drama, it's not like hitting you over the head, was, I thought, really fantastic. I really enjoyed the first half of the movie.
I felt like, what I felt like? I felt like the people that watched House of Cards and was hoping that the young pope would be a lot like the House of Cards, but for Catholicism.
Yeah.
That first half of the movie felt like that.
Yeah.
It felt like House of Cards with the religious undertone.
Yeah, and they had scenes like the body in the back of the ambulance, like prolonged scenes where it was really emphasizing the drama, the interpersonal conflict, right? But at some point, it kind of goes off the rails for me.
I think you're getting to the second half of the movie.
Yeah, the second half. And I don't want to get into specifics, obviously, because we're avoiding spoilers. But I got the sense, as the movie went along, it started off on like a very high for me, and I was like, this is fun. I'm enjoying the character drama, the interpersonal conflict, the sort of like hushed tones of everything. And it's at a certain point, about 2/3 of the way through, I noticed that like the audience is laughing at moments. And I'm like, there were a few moments that were funny, but in the back of my mind, I'm looking around, I'm like, this is not this is not supposed to be funny, guys. Like, why are we laughing at this? And I think it's because we all kind of realized that like the movie had kind of started to wobble off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there were like a few scenes near the end of the movie, and I'm like, okay, this is
the one that makes me laugh when I still think about it is just there's like an intense close up shot of the one cardinal. He's just holding up one ballot.
And like holds up his one ballot. He's like,
and it's like this really dramatic like zoom in on him, and I don't know. It's just like oh, okay, all right. You're really laying the dramatic headshot right there.
And that's exactly what it felt like. The way you put it, they really laid it on thick at the end. Like the drama was fine in the first half.
Yeah.
But then like certain things happen, like that close up. There was it's in the trailer, so it's I don't think it's a spoiler, but the explosion.
There's an explosion.
There's an explosion. I'm not going to say why or
Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say why or who or what, but there was like an explosion. Like there's just like a series of things that happen where it's like,
did you really need that?
Right.
Yeah.
And we're coming out of the movie, I said, you know what it felt like? It felt like a movie that was trying too hard to be a drama.
Yeah.
Like the first half of the movie was carrying it just fine. I don't know why they needed all the extra little things in there.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
Especially like that last 30 that last act, like that act 3 part of the movie. Yeah, kind of cranked it up a little too much.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid like specifics, but like the main thrust of the movie was like this kind of reverse whodunit, you know, with all the politicking behind the scenes. There was one guy who was trying to like figure out why all the leading candidates for the next, you know, Pope, why they shouldn't be the Pope.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it at that without getting into specifics. So I like the kind of reversed whodunit kind of thing. Do we want to talk at all about the impact of a certain very specific plot twist scene without mentioning?
I think it's going to be very tough to mention it.
Okay.
I'll just say that what you're hinting at, I think, is
that
going to help.
Is that the straw that broke the camel's back, or is that?
I think it did. I think to me it was. I know it's. I don't. We don't want to give spoilers out,
right?
Because this movie is literally just coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
The twist that you're referring to, and I know what you're talking about, I think is a little too much.
Yeah.
And I think though, it's going to help propel it into like Oscar conversation because, you know, there's some, you know, Hollywood loves, you know, social issues, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get pulled into it and have to do a spoiler.
No, you said it correctly. I agree. I brought it up because I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Without specifics, I'll just say that, you know, it was the type of situation where the plot twist happens and there's audible gasps.
Yeah.
Right?
If you want to know what this plot twist is, go Google Ben Shapiro because apparently he made like a 30-minute video about it. So
you already know.
You already know.
It's
you can put 2 and 2 together.
So there were audible gasps in the theater, and now that can be taken one of two ways. It could be like, wow, that was amazing, or like plot twists should not be a complete surprise. I know that sounds weird to say, but you need to have some kind of foundation within the narrative to base a plot twist off of. Otherwise,
there has to be a breadcrumb.
There has to be, because otherwise you could just like write anything in there. The plot twist could have been like, "Oh my God, the Pope's an alien." Like that, like that is technically a plot twist, right? Like, or like, "Oh my God, the Pope is actually, you know, like, oh, it was Bart Simpson who killed the Pope." Like a plot twist could be anything. If you don't lay the foundation, it doesn't make any sense. And that was this plot twist. They didn't lay the foundation. It seemed like it came out of left field. It was trying to make some statements that will propel it into Oscar conversation. I didn't mind the statements that it was making. I just wanted it to fit in the narrative.
Yeah.
You know, that's my biggest thing. I just wanted to fit in the narrative.
Yeah.
Somehow. This movie, I had to look it up because it reminded me of Tar. Did you watch Tar in 2022?
No, I think I skipped that one.
It was a movie that was created to get Cate Blanchett awards attention.
That's why I skipped it.
Yeah. This is a movie that was created to get Ralph Fiennes awards attention.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The criticisms that we have, I think, are on the story and the writing.
Yes, the writing was subpar.
So I think that's where the knock comes from.
Yeah.
But in terms of acting, Ray Fiennes, I think, did a great job. I think he'll definitely get an Oscar nom for his acting in this.
Absolutely, he did a fantastic job. The music was great. The first half was great. The writing overall, there were some lines where I'm just sitting there, I'm like, why did you say it out loud? You know, I'm like sitting in the theater cringing. There was one line, I don't care, it's not a spoiler. Someone's like, I'll just pretend this conversation didn't happen. And then the other character goes, but it did happen. Why did you have to scream that? Like, what? So nobody says that. Nobody does that.
It did happen.
But it did happen. I'm like, so yeah, like the writing was not great. The plot twist was completely unwarranted. But I feel like I'm being very negative. It was, for the most part, a fun, dramatic kind of, I think, inside view of a very secretive, real-life thing that happens.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fun.
And at the very minimum, I feel like whenever there is anything secret, something that's surrounded in secrecy, you want to know more about it just naturally.
Yeah.
So I think that this movie scratches that itch.
It definitely does.
You know,
it definitely does.
It is you want to be a fly on the wall. You know, because only what is it like? There's like 180 cardinals. That's it.
That's it.
They're the only people that know what happens.
And they decide the future of like the entire Catholic faith and church. And
I also thought it was cool. Like leading up to the start of the conclave in the movie, they showed like the practicalities that go into this.
Yeah.
Like someone's got to do the trash. Someone's got to clean up all the cigarette butts.
They showed
someone's got to cook.
Sisters making the food, and they're like bagging up everybody's like phones and tablets.
Yeah, someone's got to be security
and putting them in lockers. Yeah, and
it's like these things you don't think about that go into the practicality of one of these events.
And that was honestly the best part. The best part of the film for me was Act 1.
Yeah.
Was Act 1 leading up to and the start of the conclave, because it's laying all the groundwork. And I'm like, this is tense. This is dramatic. Like they're really locking them up in there, completely cut off from the rest of the world. Like I'm getting chills just thinking about it because it's like such a cool, unique, secretive concept. I just wish they could have maintained that through the
didn't
film.
Stick the landing.
Yeah, I wish they didn't feel the need to bring in all these extra bits.
Now, I will say, though, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go and watch this film. Because there are movies where the first half is great and the second half kind of tanks, but you still like the film.
Yeah.
To me, that always comes to mind with Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
The first half is amazing, and then the second half, when they go into Vietnam, gets a little...
Kubrick fans would say that's intentional.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Gets a little dry at the end.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you don't watch the movie. I still would recommend the movie. If you're interested in kind of the secrecy of how this works, I'd say it's, go ahead, go see the movie in theaters and enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it's still definitely worth a watch. I disagree with like the 93% and the 8.2 out of 10. For me, it's more like a 7.5, 7.7 out of 10, like high sevens.
I go in an 8. I think that's fair.
It's still pretty respectable, both scores.
Yeah.
Like anywhere between that 7.5 and an 8. Like that's
the acting is, I think, the selling point. Everybody did their acting job phenomenally.
Oh yeah.
Even Stanley Tucci was great in it.
I love Stanley Tucci. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And everybody was like speaking Italian because they're in Rome, and I'm like, I was digging it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Every now and then, I understood that.
I was like, oh, I know that word. There's a lot of fratelli. I was like, I know that. That's brother.
Yes.
So that was good. It was a fun time. It was a decent movie. You should watch it for potential awards awareness.
Yes.
Right.
I think you're going to see some acting nominations from this.
Yeah, definitely. And probably a Best Picture nod too.
Maybe. Depends on how the rest of the movies stack up.
Can't wait to see the online discourse.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
There's going to be some commentary on this.
Well, there's going to be something.
Yeah. All right, and let's get to one news story that we need to talk about.
Yeah, just real quick before we close out the entertainment entree, jumping back to the world of video games, God of War Amazon series is starting over from scratch.
Ooh.
This news is just breaking this week. The producers of the show left after several scripts were completed, but Sony and Amazon were like, no, we don't like it. We want to go in a different direction. And just recently, as of today, at the time of recording, Amazon and Sony have brought in a new showrunner, and they want to put together a completely new writer's room for the project. So, Rich, how do you take this? Because there's some people that this worries them, but I want to know if this worries you.
Oh yeah, I don't like the idea that there needed to be major rewrites. Like, the story is pretty much self-contained.
I mean, the game, it's based on the 2018 God of War. So
yeah.
The Norse saga.
Right. They're not doing the Roman.
Right. And I think that the game...
Roman or Greek, was it?
Greek,
sorry.
Greek, yeah.
I just knew there were boob scenes.
You're like, I don't know, it was ancient boobs. It had to be the Romans or the Greeks.
Press circle to boob.
Press circle to boob. But that brings me to a good point, is that the story in the 2018 version was incredibly grounded, very well thought out, had some amazing moments. It was already all there.
Yeah, I don't know what needs to be rewritten.
So I don't know what these original producers and writers did. It was just take what was there and just film it with people.
Yeah,
instead of
or
CG.
is it just like how we're going to split up the show? So
it could be that.
It's
It
going to be a
could be
TV series. So I mean, I
Right.
guess it's going to depend how many episodes are they going to get greenlit for.
how they break up
Yeah,
the
how do you-
longer story into episodic format, because you have to think of not just the overall arc, but like a narrative arc per episode. So it may have just been how they were handling the pacing of it. So I'm going to change tact here. I'm going to say that this is actually a benefit for me. That this is something that I appreciate, because it shows that Amazon and Sony are not willing to put out just whatever's delivered to them, right? Because they could have very easily been like, cool, looks good, it's going to get us, $100-200 million, whatever it is, and just push it out there. But
I will say, yeah, there is going to be that
It gives me hope.
expectation now.
Yeah.
Especially coming off of HBO's and The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And how well Fallout did too.
Yep.
The bar is set pretty high now.
The bar is very high
So-
for video game adaptations and
That's
specifically
true.
genre fiction.
Yeah.
Um,
They need to hit a certain quality threshold with this adaptation.
And I think that
That's true.
Sony, for the most part, is approaching its television and movie projects with that in mind, because they also completely canned the Netflix Horizon show.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like it. I would rather see that than to see them shovel crap out onto the screen, because we had that.
Yeah.
We
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, we had that for decades, Rich.
Yeah.
So I'd rather Sony be like, I don't like it. It's not up to standard.
We had Dennis Hopper play Bowser.
Yeah,
It doesn't
like-
make sense.
Like all the terrible Resident Evil movies, the terrible Lara Croft Tomb Raider movies. Although Sony did give us Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland in Uncharted.
Oh boy, fantastic.
But they also gave us The Last of Us. So I find this a hopeful, weirdly a hopeful turn of events.
All right. Well, then there you go. That's what we'll. That's how we'll perceive this delay.
I'm more hopeful about God of War than the Eagles.
Yeah, that's weird. What the hell's happening to you?
I don't know. Somebody help me.
Yeah. What did the Eagles do to you?
They hurt me, okay? I don't know.
All right. Well, hopefully our third and final segment doesn't cause you that much pain with the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meet tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Woo! Odd news.
That's right, everybody. We are not back on the video.
Oh,
it's time
that's
for the
very good. Yeah, that's important.
Fortune cookie odd news.
thank
Everyone's,
you.
because I have a view of Rich's screen.
you.
So when he's looking at his other stuff,
Thank you.
On
I
the
was
second set of
trying
eyes.
to. Yeah. Thank you. I got distracted.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you.
I'm still watching Conclave. Sorry.
He's still catching up. But it is time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment. Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen, because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. and I'm ready to get started. Is this story going to be featured on season 2 of It's Florida Man?
Possibly.
Okay.
Because you asked for Florida news last week.
I did.
And there was no Florida news because they took the week off to watch the Florida show.
So did they get any inspiration?
So they're back.
Oh, boy.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Yep, Florida is back in the non-fortune cookie odd
Back
news.
with a vengeance after just 1 week.
Yep. And I know you love these kinds of stories. So there's not a whole lot of information. Everything is right away. Just it's right here for you, Mike.
Okay.
Right here for you for your listening pleasure. That is because we are going to follow the case of 22-year-old Ricky Holly, and her name is spelled Ricqui.
Ricqui?
Yeah. Boy,
Ricky?
Just when you think, yeah, you heard it all. No, Ricky.
Because if I saw that, I would pronounce it Ricqui.
No, it's supposed to be Ricky.
Okay, all
But
right.
they went non-French? I don't know. It's like
I feel like that's more French, right?
Is it more French?
Q-U-I.
Wouldn't that be like
Riqui. Maybe it's supposed to be Riqui.
No, it's supposed to, like they have the pronunciation. It's Ricky.
Oh, weird.
I don't know.
I don't know.
This is one of those parents that like they're trying to make their kid unique, and they think they went
Just
too far.
name your kid Ricky. If you want the kid named Ricky, just make it Ricky like Ricky.
Yeah.
Why you gotta name it Riqui?
Ricky. But no, it's supposed to be Ricky.
All right.
So maybe this is the start of her transgressions. Was her name?
Maybe.
Because she's only 22 years old and she's in our odd news segment.
That's not good.
Yep. The reason why she said that because her Domino's pizza was delivered cold and uncut, she had to go threaten the Domino's pizza employees.
No, I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker, old style.
Yes, how dare you?
She's not a Christian!
That's if she just came from Conclave.
That's right. You know, that disqualifies you from becoming Pope.
Yeah.
If you're not Christian.
Right. It's, you're really screaming that out.
Yeah. I'll never understand, though. Every time a story like this comes up, I have to reiterate, like, the easiest way to get your food fixed is to just go and ask. As soon as you start throwing things or brandishing weapons or shouting at people, like, if I'm working at that Domino's, I'm absolutely not cutting your stupid pizza for you if you start throwing stuff at me, which I assume that she did. She probably stormed in there and probably threw the pizza at somebody.
Well, yeah, she says that the pizza was cold and uncut, so she was very angry. She drove back to the Domino's Pizza where she ordered it from. She ran in, flung the pizza at the employee.
See? I called it.
Yelled at the employee, and then damaged the store's telephone, according to the police report.
No, I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker, old style.
Like,
Don't make me issue my ultimate force!
Yeah.
Like, what does that do, though? Like,
You're not taking any more calls tonight.
You're not taking another call until you fix my pizza.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Nobody else in Florida is going to get this crappy pizza.
I also want to point out, though, that she took the time to drive back there.
Yes.
Now, follow me on this.
Yeah.
She orders Domino's delivery. Why? Because you're lazy and you don't want to go pick it up. That's just a fact of life.
But this pizza made her so enraged
that she became unlazy.
Yes.
And drove. If you could muster that energy.
That's actually quite impressive.
That is impressive. But why didn't she just do that from the start and get cut pizza?
No, because you didn't have the energy then.
The rage gave her
the
energy.
rage. She actually activated like rage mode within herself.
She's
She
Kratos.
used her bonus action.
Yeah.
And rage was effective.
Right, exactly.
She's Karlak.
But
a very
Kratos.
Crappy Karlak.
Yeah.
Because she's
Ricky. Riqui.
Yeah, Riqui.
It just frustrates me that that this person's like, I'm so tired and lazy, I can't possibly go pick up my pizza. So you get it delivered, and then you're mad. Delivery is always cold.
But you're so mad that it
that
wakes
you
up.
Then you're like, oh, I didn't want to leave the house, but I'm going to go put my clothes back on and leave the house to go throw this pizza at somebody.
The fires of hell have awoken within you.
Apparently.
And you just start driving back. Yep.
Like, what would you see for me in that situation? I would have just heated the pizza up, cut it myself, or just folded it in half.
Yeah, you can make your own.
Start eating.
Make your own calzone at that rate.
Yeah, right. Like, are you driving all the way back? Like, if you get delivery, you're not physically driving back to the place to complain.
No,
that's so much effort.
No,
that's so much effort.
But for Ricky, this
it just really set her off.
It lit the fire underneath her.
No, I'm gonna f***ing kill you, motherfucker, old style.
Also, it's Domino's. Cold, hot, cut, uncut. The quality stays the same, okay?
Yeah.
Like, getting it hot and cut is not going to make it markedly better.
Yep. And if you want further proof, the police report said that this happened at 1:30 in the morning on Saturday. So, yeah, your options are limited here, pal. Like, you're not going to get quality pizza.
1:30 in the morning, you're getting cold Domino's. You're going to like it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, she did not like it. The cops instantly came onto the scene and arrested her for criminal mischief. She had to spend the night in jail.
Not assault for like throwing the pizza at people, and no, I guess not.
No, I guess not. Look, this is Florida.
Is pizza not a deadly weapon anymore? I don't know.
No, apparently not. And look, this is Florida. We've got people with missiles in their car.
They got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, we got other things happening. So she only gets charged with criminal mischief. She has to spend the night in jail. She was released the following day, but the judge has ordered her to never order Domino's, and she must stay away from the local Domino's, which is 1 mile away from her house. So that's going to be awkward. She has to, circumvent the Domino's now.
All this was for a pizza that was just a mile away?
Yes.
Go get your own pizza if you want it hot. Oh, my God. Also, maybe now she'll be forced to try real pizza. Although I've heard Florida doesn't have good pizza.
Ooh. Are you taking a shot at Florida?
I'm taking a shot at Florida.
Ooh,
I've not had pizza in Florida, but I've heard from individuals who live down there that the pizza's not very good. And I said, I don't believe you. I told this person, I said, I don't believe you. You're telling me there's no good pizza.
This is what I'm hearing, okay? This is what I'm hearing.
Now, to be fair, this is Miami, and Miami has a very large, Hispanic influence in their food and cuisine culture. So maybe I get that there's not a lot of, authentic pizza places around, but there's no good pizza anywhere in a major metropolitan city in the U.S.?
Because all the New York and Northeastern old folks, they don't go to Miami. They go to Clearwater, don't they?
I guess.
So you're not getting.
I just don't believe.
You're not getting mom and pop's pizza.
I don't believe there's no good pizza anywhere in Southern Florida.
All right. Well, open challenge.
But that's what I've heard. I've heard there's no good pizza. So maybe Domino's is the best.
Open challenge. If anybody wants to help Mike find good pizza in Miami,
I'm going down there in 2 weeks. I need to know.
Help him out.
Where's a good pizza place in Miami?
Well, not Domino's. Or if you do, avoid.
Actually, where in Florida was this? Does it say? I don't think you mentioned.
St. Petersburg.
Sim Petersburg. I'm going to look up if they got any good pizza in St.
They
Petersburg.
probably have better pizza than Miami. Because that St. Petersburg is more north, isn't it? If I remember correctly.
I'm about to find out.
Yeah, pull up the map.
Oh, St. Petersburg is by Tampa.
Okay.
They don't have any pizza places right now.
Actually, yeah, they don't. They got walloped by the hurricane. They don't have.
Yikes.
Nobody's open.
Also, wait. Did this person try to order this pizza in the middle of a hurricane?
Oh, yeah. When was this? This was...
Because the timing. Of course it's going to be cold. It's been underwater for what are you doing, Raqui?
This was 1:30 a.m. on Saturday. So, I don't know. When did the hurricane hit? A week ago? 2 weeks ago?
I think they're okay now, right?
I think they should. I don't know. I don't know what we need to know. You have to have the Waffle House index.
That's right.
That's
a real thing.
That'll tell you if they're up and running. The Domino's index isn't as good.
The Domino's index doesn't work. You need the Waffle House
index.
You
need the Waffle House index. If the Waffle House is up and running, everybody's up and running.
Yeah. I learned about that on John Oliver.
It's legitimate.
Recently. And I'm going to Waffle House now.
Yeah,
I
love Waffle
I told
House.
Jordan, I said, you realize after learning about this, I have to go.
I told you. I
have to go.
If I'm free, I'll come with you. I love Waffle House.
When you get a free weekend, we're going to go to Waffle House. We're going to go to the Q-Mart.
We're going to hit all these random places that we've mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. The random tour. Crispy Noodle food tour.
That's right.
Of random
South
tri-state area.
Southeastern central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and Delaware.
Yes.
All right, so there you go. Let's sneak in one more story.
Yeah, let's do it. We're feeling good.
Because, again, it's very similar. Florida story.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
So you're telling me 1 week, no stories. The next week, 2 stories.
Yep.
Man, Florida.
And both about food, because this one is the case of 40-year-old Marquel Royal.
Okay.
Who had an argument with his wife about his alcohol use.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good.
Yep. Well, surprise, Royal is already drunk.
I don't know what I expected.
Yeah. You're already on the wrong foot there. You can't have a serious argument.
I don't have a problem with drinking. You're drunk
right now.
In the argument.
Wrong, wrong, wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, you're just. It's not. Nothing's going to get accomplished.
No.
But nevertheless, she tried, and the argument turned a little bit violent in terms of the fact that Markel went to the stove, grabbed a pot full of spaghetti, and threw it at the wife.
Oh, good for you.
Didn't we literally just have a story about this like a few months ago?
We had a guy that was flinging spaghetti out of the car. That's a different story.
No, I thought that they had a whole family fight with spaghetti.
No.
No?
No. The one with the spaghetti.
He flung it out of the car?
Flung it out of a car. Because we talked about, that was impressive that the spaghetti stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Why are so many people throwing spaghetti in Florida?
Yeah, come on.
You got to respect the noodles.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, this guy did not respect the noodles because cops said that the noodles struck the 44-year-old wife all over the front of her body.
Oh, no.
With marinara sauce drenching her stomach.
Oh, no.
So she got a full hit of just tomato sauce everywhere.
Do you think he took the pot and like flung it out of the pot, or do you think he grabbed a fistful and threw it?
I'd like to think that it was a fistfuls of it, because how fast can the cops arrive on the scene?
So he was throwing...
Like the cops are arriving and she's getting pelted in the act.
So he's throwing bundles
So
of...
I think it's got to be, by hand. I don't think he did it all at once.
Okay.
That would be my logic.
I do appreciate that the sauce and the pasta noodles were mixed together.
Yes, very important.
Seriously, though.
Yes.
You know this being Paisan.
Yeah.
Some people, they make the spaghetti and they have the sauce and they keep it separate.
No.
That's psychotic.
Yeah.
Like, I apologize to anybody who does that, but like, they need to go together.
And then you know what's even better?
What?
You throw a little bit of butter in while you're mixing it together.
Oh, it gives that.
It makes the difference.
That's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that.
Just a little bit. Just a little pad. You
I see sometimes people drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top.
Olive oil will work,
It's the same concept. You're trying to add
Yeah.
a little bit of richness. We're actually talking about food on
Yes.
a podcast that's named after food. But I don't like it when people have like the noodles separate from the sauce.
Yeah, and
because
then
they
they're
get
just, like,
sticky
dig
and
in.
clumpy. Yeah, and then like what? You like scoop the sauce out on top and then it just like sits there? No. You got to mix it together.
Yeah, not good. I mean, unless you're going to offer like separate sauces, because so here's something you may not like. We do that.
Uh-oh.
We do that for our 7 fishes.
Oh.
Because
does not everybody? Do you do the pasta with tuna fish kind of?
no,
or
no. So we have our regular tomato sauce that has 3 fishes in it.
Okay. Ooh.
But one of my uncles is allergic to shellfish.
Okay.
So
see,
he gets
that's fair.
So
that's
he gets like a custom Alfredo sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, my family doesn't do cream sauces, so
yeah.
I'm missing out on the Alfredo.
Yeah.
You do 3 fishes in your sauce.
I think we do. Yeah, I'd have to.
We do 2. We do
3.
tuna and anchovies, but the anchovies melt, so I don't know if they count.
Yeah, you bastard.
We're like way off topic.
Yeah, we're
now.
way off topic here. Anyway, the whole point of this is this guy decided to chuck handfuls of spaghetti.
Disrespecting the spaghetti.
Yep. And yeah, cops arrived. They saw the marinara sauce smeared all over her, including her stomach. So they clearly were, and of course the guy's drunk over in the corner too.
Right. He's drunkenly throwing spaghetti.
Yeah, he's probably just...
He very clearly does not have a drinking problem. I don't know what this lady's deal is, bringing up his drinking. Clearly he has it under control. Do you think I'd be able to hit a moving target with spaghetti if I was too drunk?
Yeah.
Like, what's his argument?
Right.
I don't have a drinking problem.
I'm pitching a fastball down the middle here.
Yeah.
You can't do that drunk.
Lob a meatball at her.
Yeah. That would have been more appropriate to throw.
Right?
A meatball. Yeah,
exactly.
You get a nice 2-finger fastball on a meatball.
Get like a nice big meatball.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, yeah, he chose to throw spaghetti.
No.
Yeah, not smart. Anyway, so yeah, the cops arrested him. Unfortunately, he has a little bit of a criminal history here.
Oh, shocker. The alcoholic has a criminal history.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, he's getting charged with a felony battery count.
Whoa. Oof.
Why? You're right. I feel like the crimes here got switched.
This lady goes in and throws a pizza at somebody and starts
destroys a telephone.
Destroys the restaurant, endangers the what do you call them? The employees' lives.
Yeah.
With cold pizza. This guy throws a little bit of spaghetti. Felony.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's because he's got past criminal history charges.
Yeah. Well, now Ricky does too. Ricky Quee.
Yeah, but she just started now.
She's early on the criminal trajectory.
Yeah, she's early on the Florida criminal career path.
You said this guy was 40?
But this guy's 40 and he's got a
He's
history.
been at it for a minute.
He's a veteran. Yeah.
He's a criminal veteran, yeah.
So unfortunately, yeah, he's not getting out, and his bond is set at $15,000.
Wow.
This guy...
That seems like a lot, no?
I mean...
For what it is?
I think we'd have to know more about his criminal history. Maybe he's got something serious.
It doesn't go into it?
No, so...
yeah, I mean, it could be something serious. He might be like another assault, and they're like, that's 2 assaults.
Right, so he might have something like that, but still, that seems... For just spaghetti, that seems a little... Whew.
I don't know, man. I think the best thing to do would be to not throw the spaghetti.
Yes, that would be ideal.
Why you gotta ruin good pasta?
Yeah, come on.
You know? That bothers me.
Yeah. There's good pasta being wasted here.
I love pasta, man. I could eat pasta so many times in a row. Totally fine with it.
Yeah, I love a good pasta dish. But unfortunately for that guy, that was not on the menu for his final dish. His first dish started out with alcohol.
Yeah, right. That was the appetizer.
That was the appetizer, but...
So do you think he has a drinking problem?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That sounds about right.
So the wife was right.
Yeah, I think he's... Yeah, I think this is par for the course. Yep.
This is probably not the first time that she's had spaghetti thrown at her.
Probably. Yeah. That could be another thing. One of the previous charges could be, some sort of previous spousal abuse. Yeah, so. Stop throwing things, especially pasta.
First, stop drinking to the point where you're a raging alcoholic.
Yes.
Next, stop throwing things.
Especially food.
And there you go. You won't be arrested.
Well, at least for those 2 things.
Right. I guess you could be arrested for other things. That's true.
Yeah. So
just don't get arrested. Don't do criminal things.
Stop doing crime.
No crime.
Stop it. But if you have to do it, make sure you do it in Florida and in a weird way so that we cover it here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Exactly.
Which is what you can expect just about every week here on our little show. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the Facebook, Instagram, X, social media, hubbabaloo. But most importantly, you have to make sure that you have a way to get the episodes sent straight to you every week. 2 main ways to do that. First one is on YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel, Crispy Noodle Podcast, and subscribe to that channel so that you get the video podcast sent to you every week. Second main way to do that is on Spotify. If you have Spotify, you can watch our video podcast on Spotify, but you can also put Spotify on in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And if you use Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you can take us on the go with you with Spotify, and you can listen to us as you're driving to Domino's or driving to get your newest spaghetti because you threw the other one.
I think you can get pasta at Domino's.
Oh, God, no.
I think you can.
Oh, why would you even trust that? No.
Well,
anyway.
If you need something to talk some sense into you, there's so many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle podcast. If you need to get in touch with us individually so we can talk you off of the Domino's pasta ledge, you can find us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Richard Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on X and Instagram. Let us know what's happening. If there's any topic you want us to talk about on a future episode, let us know, and we'll give you a sausage shout-out. Any odd news, make sure it comes to me and not Mikey so that Mikey doesn't see it. But if we use your topic or your story, we'll give you a sausage shout-out, so let us know what is happening. All right, but for right now, we got to wrap it up. We are done with movie watching and analysis and odd news reporting. That is it. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your visions out of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys
later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.